Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, April 6th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's gonna open in about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we will get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple things here to update, and we should be good to go. All right. Looks good, guys. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium, and then we will get started shortly. Cool. All right, guys, I got a few moments for people to make their way in, and then we'll get started with our analysis shortly. Post this up in a few more places, and we should be good to go. All right, perfect. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, April 6th. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. I'll give a few more moments for people to continue to make their way into the room, and then we will get started with our analysis shortly once enough people have joined in. So, all right. All right, cool. So let's see who's here so far. So let me just check the chat real quick. Morning, Nick. Morning, Ben Harwig. Morning, Martha. Morning, Karen. Morning, CJ. Morning, D. Morning, Christian. Morning, B. Brian. Morning, Kenny. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Looks like the majority of you guys are here so far. So market is going to open in about 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and check the news real quick to make sure I'm not missing anything before market open here. So I'm just going to refresh this real quick. All right, so looking over here on Thursday, April 6th, it looks like we had pre-market news at 5:30, 4:30. So 4:30 and 5:30, 4:30 and 5:30, there was pre-market news. We have more news at 7 o'clock. That's kind of why the market moved a little crazy right here. You guys can see it's pretty clear. Market moved a little wild pre-market. There's 430 price right there. There's 530 price right there. And we have more news events right here at 7 and 7:30. So I'm gonna go and mark that up over here again real quick. So 7 and 7:30. All right, perfect. Let's see who else is here. Hey, Jay, good morning. Morning, Will. Morning, Satyam. Morning, Saren. Morning, Dan. Morning, Gactive. Morning, Ross. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, market is opening in about 1 minute. You'll hear the opening bell when the market opens, and then we will see what happens then. We have everything marked up here. News price from pre-market. We have upcoming news price right here. Let me check my FX book real quick. We have the Fed speaking at 7 as well. We have 7 marked up. Okay, so we have a lot of news today, guys. We have the Fed speaking. We have the inflation rate. We have 8-week bill auction 8:30. We have that marked up as well. Or actually, it wouldn't matter because we're not trading at for 8. I'll mark that up anyways. But just to keep that in mind. All right, guys, market is opening in about 10 seconds. Market is open in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. There goes the opening bell. And let's see where this ends up taking us. So there's going to be a possible entry right here, guys. There's a higher high right here. If a sell signal comes up and it breaks and closes below the pivots right here, where it's currently at, there will be a possible sell entry right here. It looks like it's not going to happen because the higher high just got pushed up higher. So no entry there, guys. Just want to give you guys a heads up if there was going to be a possible entry, but no entry right there off the opening candle. All right. So let's see. We'll just see for the next candle to provide a possible sell signal. Right now, we just have the higher high. It's the first step in the strategy. And we'll be looking for the sell momentum right after. All right, the candle here is moving kind of crazy. As you guys can see how it's choppy. At the last second, the candle just spiked down. So you can see that the candle closed above here, but this candle opened down here. So it technically spiked down at the very last second and then opened down here. So with that said, this is not going to meet criteria because technically this candle should have closed down here. But you can see that the candles are just moving a little too volatile right now. So I'm going to hold off on this on taking anything. And we're going to wait for another setup to play out right here. Not much going on right here, guys. So I'm looking for a possible, well, we're just looking for a sell signal here. We're looking for a sell signal here to provide a new setup because we can't look for a buy here yet until we have some sort of sell come down. So let's take a look at all the time frames real quick. So looking over here on the 4 hour. Let's clean this up a little bit. All right, so looking over here on the 4 hour, price is pretty much still bullish. You guys can see over here on the 1 hour, price is pretty much neutral. It's right down the middle. It's been going sideways all week on the 1 hour over here. 30-minute over here has been pretty much swinging to the downside, but it's also pretty neutral. So on the higher time frames, there's not really much of a bias. It's pretty much just going sideways. On the shorter time frames, price is obviously bearish. As you can see over here on the 10-minute, price is below the pivots. Pivots are angling down, and the trend meter is red. Same with the 5-minute over here. Price is also bearish. It's below the pivots. Pivots are angling down. Trend meter is red. Lastly, here on the 1 minute, you can see the same exact thing. Price here is below the pivots. Trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down. So with that said, we have a pretty neutral overall bias with regard to US30 today. Higher time frames are bullish neutral. Lower time frames are bearish. So with that said, we don't really have a clear direction today with regard to price. This is normal, guys. So just keep that in mind that this is NFP week and it's also Good Friday. So tomorrow's technically a holiday, so we're not going to be trading, guys. Last year, the market was closed for the US on Good Friday. I'm not sure why it's not closed this year. I'm assuming because it's NFP day, so they're just going to be, the market's going to move kind of crazy pre-market. It's going to slow down. I think the US market is the only market that's closed. That's open for Good Friday. So we're just not going to trade because the volatility is not going to be there. You might get a spike, here and there, but it's not necessarily going to move smooth like like it typically does on NFP. So, and it looks like we're having an initial effect right here because there's not really too much going on. As you can see, price is pretty much going sideways. I'll go over here to the clean chart. I'm going to mark up opening price and time from 6:30 to 8 because there's not really anything going on here. As you guys can see, market is not pushing at all. It's really just going sideways at the moment. So you want to be very careful about taking any entries at this moment. And the spread is pretty wide, just like Satyam said. So Satyam said a wild spread at the moment. Yeah, I'm looking over here at FTMO. Spread's at 190, but I think it's kind of it's interchanging a lot. But yeah, if you guys look at the candles right here, there's not really much of a real movement. As you guys can see, price is pretty much just going sideways. The big back and forth movement right here, but I mean, for the most part, it's just going sideways, as you guys can see. Not a good market to trade in. But there's opening price there, and we'll see where this ends up taking us. All right, so price is pushed back up over here, which is perfectly fine. The main thing that you guys want to be careful for, obviously, and I mentioned this yesterday, is the sessions, right? So you guys can see price was moving fine before it got down past the sessions. So price came down right here. The news candle spiked up. It rejected directly off the sessions. And then it made a smooth continuation to the downside. Right now, price is back at the sessions. And look where price is currently going. Nowhere, right? Whenever price gets near these sessions, it tends to be manipulated. So you can see right here, it acts as a magnet. Price will drop below, fake out, come back above, fake out, etc. It just keeps coming back and forth. So we have a possible entry right here coming, guys. We have a higher high. And this candle right here is attempting to break and close below the sessions here. Depending on how this candle closes, we want to be a little careful about taking entry because this can be a fake out. So yeah, I'm not going to take this candle. You guys can see how it's spiking down so heavily. I'm not going to take it because it's so big. What I'll do here is I'll probably wait for it to retrace back and then maybe catch it as it comes back down. But as you guys can see right here, it's a very volatile candle. It just spiked down like 300 pips in like 1 second. Personally, I don't even think this candle will close with the sell signal, but we'll see. So you got about 5 seconds left on the candle. As I mentioned, guys, I'm not going to enter it right away. I'm going to wait for it to pull back a little bit and then possibly, never mind. Okay, so it didn't close with the candle, guys. Very jumpy market this morning. I had the sell signal. I wasn't expecting it to close. And then it just ended up not closing. So pretty much did what we expected. I was waiting for it to close and it did not close. Question from Lucas. Lucas is asking, does it matter if there's a lower low right after a higher high? No, not necessarily, because so for example here, Lucas, if we had a sell signal that came up on this candle here and there's a lower low, if price continued dropping lower, it would just push the lower low lower and lower. So it's fine if it's right after because it hasn't been established yet. If it's established, then yeah, of course it would be like a little iffy. Like for example, right here, right, a high, low, low, high, and then price just ended up coming right back down. But if price continues to, like for example, if there was a buy signal here and price continued to push up higher, this here would disappear and just get pushed higher and higher and higher. So it's okay if it falls within the criteria, but it's not necessarily a big deal if it happens, because these high lows don't get established until like it's been untouched for like 4 or 5 candles. So it's fine. You just can't have one in between. That's like the main thing. So there's no room for entry here, guys, but we do need this sell signal to allow us to look for another setup. So there's no entry available right now. You guys can see how the market's moving. It's very blocky movements right now. So Suk mentioned, don't forget we have unemployment news later. Data can come out, private companies' numbers on it. So I'm curious to see what the news in the market will react to. Yeah, let me check real quick. Yeah, Suk said these candles are savage. And these candles are moving pretty crazy. If you guys can see, it'll go like the candles will barely move, and then in 1 second it'll spike like 300 pips. Let me check the calendar from today. I think the unemployment claims came out pre-market, Sisu. So they came out at 5:30. I don't think there's anything coming up later today. So they came out at 5:30 today. That's where this big candle came up right here. This one that I circled. So this was unemployment claims up here. I don't think there's anything else that's coming out for unemployment. But the Fed is speaking today. So the Fed is speaking at 7 o'clock right here. So they're going to be discussing the unemployment claims. So unemployment claims over here were very negative. Let's see. Last month, they were 246,000. They're expecting it to lower, but it's still pretty high. It's 228,000 for this month. So yeah. But we'll see what the Fed has to say about it. We still need that sell signal here to close though, in order for us to look for a buy. We can't look for any buys here until we have the sell signal close, because you can't get a buy signal after another buy. You need to have a buy signal, then a sell signal, then a buy signal. So yeah, it's gonna be a matter of time, guys. Got to be patient and wait for this here to play out. Checking the think tank. I'm just posting in there right now. All right, guys. So let's see. What else we need here? Sorry, we're just having some side combos right now. There's nothing for us to take right now. We're still looking for the sell signal here to close. So we don't have any entries here because we have a higher high, but price already broke and closed below the pivots. Looking over here at the criteria, you guys got to look at these requirements in order. So first, we have a higher high right here already. Second, you want to look for a momentum signal, which we don't have yet. Third, price already broke and closed below. So we have requirements 1 and 3 met, but you can't move on to step 3 until you have step 2 met. So with that said, there's no entry here for a sell. We just need the sell signal to come up here so that we can confirm that it's done with this setup here, and we can look for a buy, because we can't look for a buy signal until we have a sell signal. So we're looking for a sell signal to close out first. Once it closes and confirms, we can start looking for a buy signal. But yeah, it's just going to be a matter of patience here. First half of the week was pretty good. I mean, Monday, Tuesday was pretty solid. Wednesday was there's no entries for us. There was one possible entry that came up towards the end, but we didn't take it because of the candle movement prior to entry. And then today we just don't have any entries just yet. Market's moving kind of slow. I mean, it's not moving slow, it's moving kind of fast. But the entries here aren't really lining up at the moment. So it's got to be patient and wait for some sort of entry to come up. No rush. We're only looking for this strategy anyways. So yeah, we'll just be waiting for this here to play out. So we got a sell signal here currently pending. What we might get here is we might get price to bounce off the sessions and swing back up after this. Let me mark up opening price as well, which is right there. And we should be good to go. Hey T, how's it going? Morning. All right, so Kenny just posted his profits for today. It looks like Kenny took a couple trades here pre-market, or not pre-market, on open right here. So Kenny took 2 trades, total profit of 470 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. So looking over here real quick, if there's any possible entries that came up, looks like, no, I don't see any possible entries here. Aside from this right here, but this is not one that would be taken because it's right at the sessions. Let's see, question from D. D's asking, would 642 be considered a pivot scalp? Yeah, so this would be considered a pivot scalp, but it's at a red flag right here at the session, so I wouldn't have taken that. But if you're just applying the strategy, not looking at any of the criteria with regard to confluences against your trade, then yeah, if you're just going off bare criteria and strategy, then yeah, this would be a pivot scalp because price is below the pivots. We have a sell signal. That's a normal pivot scalp. But if you're looking at red flags, which typically is applied for all strategies except for this one here, the high level momentum scalp, then it wouldn't be an entry because this would be considered a red flag, the sessions. Let's see, I think it played out, right? Let me check real quick. Yeah, shot right through TP. So it depends if you're using the red flags or not. If you guys are looking at the pivot scalp strategy, 1 minute pivot scalp, this is the pivot scalp strategy. You want to confirm the overall bias. Obviously, everything here is bearish. 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, all bearish right there. Looking over here at the fundamentals, let's take a look at the fundamentals real quick. Fundamentals are currently bearish as well. They're down 113 points. So that lines up. So overall bias right now is bearish, right? So with that said, yes, if you were to apply the strategy, just the strategy alone, then it would be a pivot scalp entry. But if you're using the red flags, which we typically do for these, pretty much most of the entries that we take, I would have skipped it myself personally because it's at the sessions. And you can see right here how the fake out is playing out, right? So right here, you can see how price kind of broke and closed below the sessions, faked out below, now it's swinging back up. We have a possible entry right here for a buy. If we get a buy signal right here, that breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2, then we have a possible entry for a buy right there. So look out for that. So looking at the criteria here, guys, first identify a higher high or lower low. We have a lower low right here. Second, you want to identify a valid momentum signal. So with that said, we're looking for a buy signal right here, which is currently pending. If the buy signal pushes up and closes above pivots 1 and 2 here for step 3, then we have a possible entry here for a buy. We don't have it yet, but it's on its way up right now. All right, we got 20 seconds left on this candle. Again, guys, just remind yourself, if the candle provides a buy signal, it's not official yet. You have to wait for the candle to actually close. So this candle here looks like it's not going to close. There might be another attempt on the next candle with a buy signal, but right now it does not look like this candle here is going to close. Next candle gets pushed right back up. Again, right there, pending buy signal. But again, it has to be valid. So we need price to break and close above pivots 1 and or 2 right here. And then we also need the valid buy signal. So you can see right there, this is invalid because there's a red candle within the buy signal. But we still have about 40 seconds left on this candle. So we got a lot of time here for it to push up if it gets that volume and strength in the next couple seconds or so. If not, then it's perfectly fine. Or it's gonna be waiting for this here to play out. $20 seconds left on the candle. It doesn't look like it's gonna close out, which is fine. We're just gonna, it's gotta be patient and wait for the setup to actually come up. All right, so let's see what else we have over here. So it does not look like we're gonna be getting that buy signal right here. We got 3 seconds left, 2, 1, no signal. All right, looks like price might be coming back down right here, which is fine. All right, so a couple of rejections right there. We still have the opportunity here for that buy signal to come up, guys, because we don't have anything in between yet. So we still have the lower low right here. We have no high lows in between. We have no opposite signals. So we still have the opportunity for the price to push above the pivots here and provide us that buy signal. pending buy signal right there. So again, we're waiting for this to break and close above pivots 1 and or 2. So either both pivots or just pivot 2. But I don't like how the way that these candles are moving. So if you guys are looking at the candles, how they're moving right now, this is kind of similar to what happened yesterday. If you guys remember yesterday towards the end of the session, we had the candles just going sideways, and then price ended up going, pretty much opposite after it played out. So if we do get an entry here, I'm probably not going to take it because this is the same exact trap that was placed yesterday. If you guys were on the live session with us, price kind of starts to die down a little bit with regard to volume. And then it ended up completely reversing. So I might wait for this here. I might look for a late entry to wait for the pullback, and then I might enter a few moments after once it corrects back up. So this is a possible entry right here, but it looks like it just disappeared. So no entry there, guys. Another possible opportunity right here. As you guys see, the candle right there disappeared, right? This is why you have to wait for the very last second, because the candle was above with a buy signal. And then at the last like 2 or 3 seconds, price ended up pulling right back below. So just waiting for this right now. Yeah, CJ said maybe we get extra entries today to make up for the entries we didn't get on Christian's birthday, right? Yeah, definitely, hopefully. So I'm looking for. All right, so we have a possible entry right here, guys. I'll see how this candle here closes. Again, if you guys are looking for this entry, you got to wait for the candle to actually close. And then once it closes, you can take possible entry there. If it closes as a smooth candle, I'll probably take it. But, again, you got to wait for the candle to actually close. Just make sure you guys are waiting patiently for this to confirm. But looking at where price is currently at right here, it's not looking like it's going to close. It looks like it's going to be invalid. All right, so there's an invalid buy signal right there. That's going to pretty much invalidate the entire setup. So looking over here, guys, first requirement, identify a lower low. We identified it right there. Second, you want to identify a valid momentum signal. Right here is invalid because there's a buy signal, but it has a red candle within it. So with that said, this makes it invalid, and we can't move on to step 3. So, all right, no entries there. And we will wait for the next one. All right, Nick, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Or actually, we're done for the week. So, all right, Nick, I'll see you back here on Monday then. If I don't hear from you later, but knowing you, you're probably gonna pop back in a few minutes. I always see you like leave the room and then you come back because I can see who comes in and out of the room. Nick will say, "Oh, I'm done for the day," and then he'll come back like 5 minutes later. So if I don't see you later today, I'll see you next week. But if not, yeah, I mean, if you had a pretty good week so far, if you guys had a good week already, I would just wrap it up. Honestly, I had a pretty good week. We had like 4 wins this week, 0 losses, or 5 wins, 0 losses. So if you guys had a good week already, just keep in mind that this is NFP week and it is Good Friday tomorrow. So there's really no reason to force any trades unless you guys absolutely need to trade, because we already had 4 trades this week. Typically we have like, maybe 1 trade or less a day in some instances. So if you locked in all the trades this week, you should be pretty deep in profit, like majority of us. No losses. So let's see. Jacob's asking, are we off tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow's Good Friday, Jacob. So I looked at the calendar and I'll show you guys again right now. So looking over here at the calendar, guys, pretty much all the markets are closed except for the US. I think it's because it's NFP. So they're probably just going to release the NFP data, but I don't think majority of people are going to be trading. Good Friday is a pretty big holiday around the world. You can see over here for Germany, bank holiday, Europe, German bank holiday, Canada, bank holiday. Last year, the US market was closed. I don't know what the case was, but it was closed last year. This year it's open, but it's like pretty much the only market that's open on Friday. So, yeah, Jacob said banks in Denmark won't even open before Tuesday here. Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty much a holiday all around the world. The volatility is going to be pretty low because nobody's going to be trading on that day. So I'm not going to be trading tomorrow on Friday, guys. It's for you guys that don't know, it's Good Friday. It's only the US market, and it's probably only because they have data over here at 5:30. So it's pre-market. You can see like pretty much there's no other news happening on that day. Let me check my FX book real quick. Yeah, you can see over here, everybody's closed. So looking over here on my FX book, you can see Australia's closed. Europe's closed, Canada's closed. It's even here for the US, but for whatever reason, it doesn't show that it's closed here on Forex Factory, but it's pretty much closed everywhere. So yeah, no trading on oh wait, this is for today. I don't know why does it say today. Good Friday's tomorrow. Oh, I think because the markets are technically they don't reopen the next day. So that's why it shows today here. Because it shows here in the afternoon, it's Good Friday for everybody. Technically the market resets on this at this time, 2 o'clock. Okay, no, it makes sense. So yeah, no trading tomorrow, guys. Just another heads up. You guys forgot. Let's see, Jacob said, damn, literally no trading for me this week so far. Yeah, you've been on vacation all week, Jacob, so you haven't been able to trade. Yeah, you missed out on early this week. Monday and Tuesday were great trading days. So it was pretty solid. Let's see. Nick said 3 wins for him, back to break even from the losses last week. Nice, Nick. Yeah. So yeah, everyone should be in profit or back in break even from yesterday or last week's trades if you took the losses last week. Luckily, I was in profit already heavily from March, so the losses from the last week of March didn't really affect me too much. This week we had straight wins, 4 back-to-back wins, or 5 back-to-back wins. So it's been, it's been pretty solid. All right, we have a possible entry coming up soon. We have a lower low here. If price ends up breaking, closing past the pivots with a valid buy signal, then possible entry for us right there. We have the Fed speaking right here at 7, so you guys want to be careful for that. Let's see, Nick sent me something over here real quick. I mean, not Nick, Kenny, sorry. Nice. So Kenny said FTMO now shows your consistency score. Nice. Yeah, so looking over here at Kenny, he's currently 68% consistent. It's not bad. You just got to stick to your game plan. If you guys can, that's a pretty good tool. I think everybody here should have a pretty high consistency number as long as you guys are, following directions and only taking the official trades here. But yeah, it's a cool thing to just look at and gauge what your consistency looks like. So yeah, thanks for that, Kenny. I think I got the email today. I haven't looked at it yet. Let's see. Ross said the market is closed tomorrow in the US as well. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Ross. I wasn't sure because my FX book, or sorry, Forex Factory over here didn't have the US listed, but on my FX book, it showed the US list. I mean, basically every market is closed tomorrow. So yeah, I assumed it was closed. I think they're still releasing data though. So even though the market is closed, they're going to be releasing NFP data pre-market. So I'm not going to trade, obviously, but it's good to know in case you guys do decide to trade tomorrow. I wouldn't recommend trading tomorrow. Market's probably going to be kind of pretty flat for the most part. Nice. This is Martha's consistency. She's 70% consistent. Nice work, guys. Yeah, great work, guys. If your consistency is above like 60%, I think that's pretty solid. That just shows that you're following rules, right? So Martha over here is up like 70%. Kenny's up, I think he said 68%. So anything above that's pretty solid because it just shows that you're following directions and you're not really taking like random trades. All right. No, not up 60% consistency, Jacob. So this, I don't know if you got the email from FTMO, but they provide your consistency now. It's your consistency score, not your percentage up. It's just your consistency because it shows like if you're following your trading plan, right? If you're just taking one trade or one strategy and you're consistently hitting it, if it's a high win rate strategy, it'll just show how consistent you are. Because if you're playing a bunch of different strategies and you have a bunch of wins and losses, it's going to show inconsistency. But if you're just like having consistent wins back to back to back, then your consistency will be, on the higher side, above 70%. It's kind of like a win rate. I don't know if it's the same thing as a win rate, but No, it's different. So it's not the same as win rate because I'm looking at mine right here. My win rate's very high and my consistency isn't the same number. So I guess their criteria is a little different. It says that this value calculates the consistency of your trading based on the results of each trading day. A high value indicates more consistent trading. So I'm assuming they're kind of balancing your profit ratio with your loss ratio. If it's the same thing like every day, right? If you have like one win or a bunch of wins, it'll just update. Nice. Jonathan says that his shows a 70% consistency rate. Yeah, I think the consistency is going to show you that you're using, proper lot sizing every day. You're not changing, like going from one lot to 100 lots. You're just on the same lot size. And then your profitability is like pretty much similar in comparison to your loss ratio or your losses. So yeah, I'm not sure like how they calculate it, but it's a cool tool if like you wanted to, follow and see what your consistency looks like. All right, there's no entries for us here, guys. We have a pending buy signal, but we're not going to have any possible entry here just yet because we currently have a lower high right here. So we still have a possibility of entry. We have a lower low right here. If the buy signal breaks and closes past this pivot here, it's going to create a new lower high, or a higher high. So if that's the case, then we can still possibly take entry here. One thing to keep in mind is that there's news right now. Looks like the Fed's going to start speaking pretty soon at 7 o'clock. There's another news event here at 7 as well. Natural gas storage, or sorry. Actually, there's no news here. It's just the Fed speaking. So there's no specific news event. We just have the Fed speaking right here. We have Fed Bullard speaking right now, 7 o'clock. So we could possibly expect some unusual price movement here. You can see that big spike right there on this current candle. It's because the Fed's speaking right now. There's no entry for us to take here, guys, because as you can see over here on the note, there can't be any high lows in between. So we have the lower low right here. We have a lower high and then a higher low right here. So with that said, there's no room for entry here. So now we have to wait for this setup to play out again. So we need this buy signal here to close at some point. We need the buy signal to close so that we can start looking for a sell. But as you guys can see, so as I mentioned in the past, guys, or let me just show you guys again right here. Let me just go and turn everything off. So you guys can see right here, whenever price gets near the session, so right here, price was around this purple sessions here, which is the Asia low. You can see how price gets manipulated, right? Price comes down here and it goes sideways for a very long time. Fake outs in both directions, and then it finally breaks down below. Again, right here, we have price at the sessions down here at the New York low and London low, and you can see how price gets highly manipulated across this area, right? So this isn't a good area to trade. I think this is probably one of the strongest red flags to avoid because you can get caught in fake outs in either direction. So for example, here, price broke and closed below this green line, which is the New York low. You can see how price faked out there. It shot right back up right here, faked out, came back below, faked out again, came back above here. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is another fake out. You can see how these candles break and close past structure. Typically, a lot of people look for these breaks and closes, right? Like you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that a lot of times where people just wait for price structure to break and close. So you can see if you took any of these trades here, you would have been faked out in so many directions. Fake out right here for a sell and price broke and closed below it. Another fake out right here, that's price broke and closed above it. And then another one right here, and then another one right here. So just be careful when you guys are looking for these entries. If that's your style of trading, that's completely fine. But just keep in mind that those areas are typically very well known for manipulation to happen. Because the thing is, if you're looking, because if like for me, I've studied a lot of traders in the past. Like my whole trading career, I've been studying traders. I try to figure out what other people are doing, and then I reverse engineer it to see if like their stuff is profitable or not, right? A lot of people like to trade off high previous session high lows. That's why I created this indicator. So I did this so I can identify where manipulation happens. So I know to stay away from those areas. So that's why, like, if you guys can see, I'll pull this up on the clean chart, turn on the sessions. All right, so you guys can see right here, basically, whenever price gets near any of these areas here, this is the whole reason I created this indicator. So whenever price gets near it, I just don't trade around those areas, right? Price gets near right here, rejects directly off it. Price gets near it right here, rejects directly off it. Price comes over here. You can see all these fake outs. I just don't trade around these areas. Some people like to trade off them. If they see a rejection, they try to take the bounce. But, it's a bit of a gamble if you guys are trading around those areas. Like, for example, right here, price broke and closed past it. This is a gamble because you could have taken a buy here and then price would have came right back down and stopped you out. This whole area just an area not to trade in. And it just happens. Again, right here, price is again in this area. You can see how price broke and closed past it. So I'll just show you guys an example of people getting faked out. So this right here, a lot of people like to trade off these price points. You can see how price broke and closed below it. I'm assuming a lot of people would try to take a sell right here. Right, that's typically what people do. Wait for the break and close, stop loss right there. And then what happens? It gets stopped out. So what do you think happens here, right? Whenever people get stopped out here, they're like, okay, I got faked out. And they're like, okay, I'm going to take a buy here now. Because they think, okay, at this point, they were wrong about this. So they got to be right about this. Just another break and close past it. They do the same thing. Stop loss right here for a 2-to-1 or whatever. And then they get stopped out again. And then what happens here? And I'm sure you guys have ran into this problem. You guys get stopped out and then you just keep entering in other directions, right? And then this is what happens. You see price pushing up and you're like, okay, I just got unlucky here, right? This is typically what happens with majority of traders. They lose 2 trades here, they lose a second trade, and they're like, okay, I just got unlucky. So what do they do at this point? They try to re-enter for another position here, and they're like, okay, this has got to work out, right? They do the same thing there, and the price comes down and stops them out again. And at that point, their account's blown. It's just reverse engineering how other people trade. That's why I trade differently from everybody else. I do the opposite. Like when I see people losing at these areas, this is where I start to set up liquidity. So at this point, I can see that a lot of people are probably getting stopped out around this area. And what I would do at this point is I would mark up liquidity areas, right? Because there's a lot of people who are trading around this area and getting stopped out. So I would assume that if price ends up breaking past these areas, these are going to be acting as liquidity. Because whoever's entering, whoever's entering buys, they're going to be looking for, they're putting their stop loss at the previous swings, and then whoever's entering sells are putting their stop losses at the previous swings as well. So you guys can see that, the way I trade is very different compared to a lot of other people out there. I basically look to do the opposite of everybody else. And you can see right here, price is now ranging. It's not really going anywhere. So pretty much sideways movement from this point. But eventually price is going to break out and spike to stop people out here, whether it be to the upside or whether it be to the downside. But there's no direction right now. Price is just going sideways. All right, so still looking for an entry here, guys. There's nothing for us to take right now. We currently have a pending sell signal, but in order for us to take a sell here, we need a higher high, which we don't currently have at the moment. So there's no entry for us right now. Let's see, Dejan said, Fed speaking and holiday tomorrow. I'll see you either Monday or Tuesday, since Monday might be when everyone reacts to NFP. Yeah, definitely, Dejan. I'll see you back here on Monday or Tuesday next week. Yeah, as you guys can see, there's not really much going on. The market's just going sideways. I've marked it over here on the clean chart, so you can see how we marked up, lined up over here. I pretty much marked up the liquidity on the top side and liquidity on the bottom side. So we'll see how this ends up pushing, but there's not really much of a direction here. Price is just going sideways. Some profits over here this is Eunice's, his consistency rate. Nice work right here, Eunice. He's up 73% with regard to his consistency. Here's Jacob over here, secured some profits for the week, total profit of 3,582. Nice work, Jacob. Maddie's consistency is at 80%. So that's good. As long as you guys' consistency is above 70%, then you should be pretty solid overall for the most part. If your number is not up there, it's fine, guys. Just, you should probably aim to have your number above 70% because that's going to indicate that you're actually following your trading plan. I think your consistency score gets hit if you end up taking like random lot sizes, random TP, random stop loss, or if you adjust your stop loss too much, stuff like that. It's just another metric. All right, so we still don't have any direction here. Here's a clean chart. Basically, when price breaks out of this area, you can expect, possible continuation or fake out. But we just don't have anything yet. So I'm going to step away real quick, guys, for a few moments, and I'll be right back. I don't think anything's going to happen within the next few minutes. So I'm just going to turn off my camera real quick, and I'll be right back. I got to go do something. All right, guys, I'm back. Let's see. Nothing happened, pretty much what I anticipated. The market, it did push up a little bit, but there's no entry for us yet. Looking over here, guys, as I marked up over here, I mentioned if price pushes past this area of liquidity, there's going to be a possible breakout, right? And that's exactly what happened. So you guys can see from my analysis, I've seen these patterns play out over and over again. So it's the same pattern. If you see a lot of, basically, we see price getting stuck around an area where it's around the sessions, typically it'll break out at some point. It's just squeezing until it's ready to break out of that area. And it works very well if you line it up with the sessions. So like same thing happened right here. It's pretty much the same pattern every single time. So right here you can see how price is kind of just going around this area. Like it literally just happened right before it happened this last time. Higher high right there, lower low right there. Price pretty much going back and forth. Price was to break past any of these areas. odds of it continuing down are very likely. So price broke below there, and then it dropped from that point. Like pretty much just what happened right now. It's the it's just liquidity getting knocked out. Let's see. Turn this back off. This is just a clean chart, guys. So I'm gonna leave this pretty clean, no markups, and I'll leave that alone. I'll go back over here. We currently have a higher high, so we're looking for a sell signal to break and close past the pivots down below here. Let's see. Let me scroll up real quick. Christian said, I think we should consider whenever there is a lot of news, because in the past I've seen it's complicated to trade with high level momentum, or maybe it's just NFP week. I think it's a little bit of both, Christian. NFP week is typically hit or miss. So, we've been trading NFP for how long now? Like over 5 years for sure on the live session. And then maybe like, through Telegram for like the past 7 years. Typically during NFP, it's like, you're either going to have a hit or miss week, or you're going to have a half and half. Like you're either going to have a whole week where it's just bad market movement. You're going to have a whole week that's all good market movement, or you're going to have a week where it's half good and half good, like half good and half bad. So for us, you can see from this week, Monday, Tuesday was good. Wednesday, Thursday, market's kind of been a little choppy. So I'm sure it has a lot to do with both NFP and news, because NFP week is typically a heavy news week. There's Fed news, unemployment news, Fed news, obviously, NFP, and inflation news. So we had pretty much a lot of news come out this week: inflation, the Fed speaking, unemployment, etc. So that's just a typical NFP. Like you'll never have an NFP week where there's not a lot of news, because that's literally when all the news comes out. So. As you guys can see from this week, it's just a lot of back and forth movement. All right, so we have a pending sell signal right here. As I mentioned, we have a higher high right here. First step over here is to identify the higher high. Second step is to identify a valid momentum signal. There's a pending sell signal on this candle right here. If this candle pushes below and provides a sell signal, then we're going to move on to step 3. Step 3, you want to confirm price breaks and close past the pivots 1 and or 2. So if this sell signal right here breaks and close past this blue pivot, then we'll have possible entry for a sell. We don't have it yet, but if and when we get it, that's going to be entry for us right there. So I just want to give you guys a heads up so that you guys can anticipate this move in case it does come down. We have 18 seconds left on this candle. It does not look like it's coming down on this specific candle, but if it does, you guys know what to expect. See, Nick said last challenge I passed was basically all liquidity moves, as well as 5 live trades. Yeah, I mean, liquidity moves are good if you know what you're doing. The problem is if you're not able to identify proper liquidity moves and you end up taking every liquidity move that you think is a move, it can lead to a very quickly blown account, right? So just keep that in mind, Nick, because I'm pretty that must have been the reason why you probably lost that account as well. Because yeah, liquidity it's nice when it works. When it's not working, you got to know when to stop, right? A lot of people don't know when to stop. Like for example, over here, there's a liquidity move right here that came out, and I'm sure you saw this right here, Nick, right? There's liquidity right here, but you gotta make sure that you understand when it's not an actual liquidity move and it's just a fake out. So for example, right here, if you identify this liquidity right here, Nick, and the reason why I'm saying identify is because I marked it up on this chart. You guys remember the markup over here? Well, it's not there anymore, but I pretty much had the liquidity marked up right here, like before I went off the screen for a bit. So I knew liquidity was there. I marked it up for you guys, and I even gave you guys a heads up that it was going to play out right there. And that's how this liquidity could have been taken, right? The problem with this here is if you don't identify liquidity properly. So like, for example, there's no liquidity here. I'm like purposely looking for a bad liquidity move so that you guys can see what's not a good liquidity move. But I don't see anything here specifically, like not at the exact moment. Yeah, so all liquidity moves here are pretty, I mean, they're decent. They're not great, but they are decent. So like, for example, again, right here, another area of liquidity that would have played out right there. When price pushed above it, another entry at that point. Yeah, I don't really see any bad liquidity here, but I mean, there's liquidity right here too, but it's too spread out. If I see an area of bad liquidity, I'll let you know. But you know, for a lot of people who try to mimic what I'm doing, I mean, especially if you don't have the indicators. If you don't have the indicators, it's going to be impossible for you to like really properly identify this, because my indicators here, I created this algorithm for the higher highs and higher lows, to specifically like point out, you know, what the valid higher highs and lower lows are. The problem with people are trying to mimic my strategy is that a lot of these can be higher highs, right? Like if you see any push to the upside and a rejection back to down, it looks like a lot of these are higher highs, but if you have the indicator, it pretty much identifies it for you. It takes out the noise. So like, for example, here, I'm pretty sure this probably would have looked like a higher high or something, or a high low, because looking at it from a, you know, bird's eye view, this looks like, okay, this is a high, this is a low, this is a high, but realistically, this is the actual high. So it's a little different. All right, let's see. Nick said I lost that account because I took a trade before my first payout, lost 1,000 on the trade, had about 1,800 profit for the month. So he revenge traded in an attempt to get his profits back, and boom, lost the account. So basically a mixture of revenge trading and over trading. Yeah, that's normal. And I'm pretty sure a lot of your revenge trades happen to be trades that you thought were liquidity pushes. That's why I don't really teach that strategy. I never even created a strategy, an actual video for the liquidity pushes, because it's a very lucrative strategy if done properly, but a lot of people do it incorrectly. So I didn't even create a video for the liquidity push. If you guys were trading with me around that time, you guys saw that there was a lot of profit to be made. If you guys learned it when I was teaching it back then, you guys probably made a lot of profit trading that, because you get like, you know, 10 trades a day. But it was hard for people to decipher, you know, what was good and what wasn't. So yeah, it's all good, Nick. You're back here, so you'll make it back at some point. But yeah, no, liquidity pushes are a good way to trade, guys. It's a good addition to like whatever strategy you guys are currently applying, but only if done properly. All right, we have the higher high right here, guys. We're looking for a possible sell signal over here. If we get a sell signal that breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2, then we'll have a possible entry here for a sell. If not, then, you know, again, we're just going to wait for the next opportunity. We have a pending sell signal right here. So again, just look closely, guys. We got 10 seconds left on this candle. You got to make sure that it actually closes below the pivot. If it doesn't close, there's no entry there. There's no entry. So I didn't take the entry, guys. As you can see, this candle here didn't close below the pivot. It closed right at the pivot, which is annoying because it looks like it would have played out too. Yeah, it's all good. So there's no entry there, guys. We were waiting for this candle here to break and close below the pivot. It did not close below the pivot, so there's no entry there. Everything lined up except for the step 3. So identify low, higher high, which is right here. Identify the sell signal, which is right here. Third, you wanted to confirm a price break and close past pivots 1 and or 2. So it broke past 1 here, but not 2. It had a break past both of them, which it didn't, and did not provide entry on that there. Nice. Yeah, Jacob said he went in and made a quick buck. Nick took it as well, made 135. So if you guys took it on accident, that's fine. I just want to show you guys that this is not an official entry. So, you know, it's just my patience and discipline is just on point with this specific strategy, because I don't want to be taking risky trades like that. But if you guys took it, you would have accidentally made profit on it. So, you know, solid work if you guys did. If not, it is completely fine. All right, so I'm still waiting for my entry, guys, my official entry. There's no official entries here, but you guys can see how this can change at the very last second. I thought this was going to close, and I was really tempted to enter it with you guys, but I didn't because my discipline just told me not to. But it would have played out accidentally. So, all right, we're still waiting for the next one here. So if you guys made profit on that, solid. If not, it's cool. All right, so here are some profits from Jacob. So let's see, Jacob took another trade. He took that last trade, total profit of 7,551. Nice work, Jacob. Yeah, nice comeback from this week after not trading. So yeah, Jacob here is up 10,076 for the day. Nice work, Jacob. Yeah, so Eunice over here accidentally took it. He said mistakenly took it, and as soon as he saw it wasn't an entry, he closed it. So Eunice over here locked in 1440 for the day. Nice work, Eunice. Yeah, good accident, right? Nice. Yeah. So Jacob said now he's up 11K after taking that last trade. Yeah, no, it's good. So you guys can see like these strategies are based off momentum. So like sometimes if you miss a criteria and you're still in the position, it'll still play out sometimes. Like, it's not always the case, but a lot of times it still plays out, even though, it doesn't meet criteria every time. So yeah, if you guys are in that position, solid. If not, it's okay. We're gonna be waiting for the next one here to play out. Yeah, Satyam said that he's in Vincent's entry right here. I'm not in this entry right here, guys. I'll mark it up for you guys. So yeah, this is Vincent's right here. It's a little risky, but we'll see if it plays out. I'm not in this position, guys. So just FYI, there's two versions of applying the strategy. There's my version and Vincent's. The reason why I would have been a little iffy about taking this one here is because it looks a little overextended, right? Price looks like it's pushed down quite a bit. That's why I like taking mine personally, because mine is like, it's a straight shot after the higher high. Like, so if we identified a top here, we take the entry around this point. Vincent's entry would have entered down here. Not that it's bad, but then sometimes it's just a little overextended and it's due for retracement. So the retracement is happening right here, but I wouldn't be surprised if price ends up just shooting back down from this point. So yeah, it's just my entry is taken earlier. Vincent looks for a later confirmation when he applies it. So I'm not in any positions right here, guys. I'm just waiting for, obviously another opportunity to play out. Let's see. Kevin said, I made a lot of money on liquidity pushes and I still take them today. It's not easy to learn, but if you do it right, you can make some serious money. I agree with you too, Kevin, 100%. Those liquidity pushes are very lucrative if you can do them properly. See, Glenn said he took the trade earlier that hit TP. Since I don't have the indicators, was guessing it would close below the pivots. Yeah, and I thought it was going to too as well. If you're like following my markups right here, you would have, I know, you pretty much assume that it would close because I was looking for it to close as well. So there we go. As price pushes back down. Still no entry for us here, guys. As you can see, price is pretty much going sideways again. I don't like this type of market because there's no direction. You can see that price pretty much and I'll just show you guys real quick. Price pretty much goes sideways, it breaks out, and then it just corrects. So like, for example, right here, this was a sideways movement. Price broke below. Another sideways movement, push back above. Another sideways movement right here. And it's just going to, continue to break out in whichever direction. It's just not really a good market to trade in. Unfortunately, there's no official entries yet, guys. I'm hoping we'll get one soon, but I'm not going to force anything here. I'm just going to wait for whichever setup to play out. And then we have news right here as well. So just be careful if you guys are in position right now. There is news coming up right here at 7:30, the spread line. Yeah, it's getting a little risky right there. Satyam said he pulled out for a small loss. The trade was taking too long. I agree. If the trade takes this long for a scalp, it's probably safer to just pull out of it, right? We do have news coming up right here at 7:30 though. Let me check the news event. News event is a natural gas stock change. It's a low impact, but we'll see how that affects the market. The problem here too, guys, is that the Fed is speaking. So you guys want to be careful. The Fed's been speaking since 7:30, I believe. So I'm not sure like what he's talking about. I mean, he's talking about something, obviously. Talking about the inflation, talking about the unemployment claims, the JOLTS job openings, and then possibly precursors for NFP tomorrow. Yeah, Kevin said sellers are in charge. The red candle slammed down violently. Yeah, no, I could see that. I mean, it's still pretty bearish, Kevin. So I could see longer term that price still needs to drop down. It's pretty bearish across, most of the time frames here. The 1 minute's pretty neutral at the moment. 5 minutes still bearish. 10 minutes still bearish. 30, 1 hour still bearish. What I'm looking for at this point is I'm looking for some sort of confirmation, right? So this 5 minute over here, I think if this here rejects off the pivot, it could be a possible hint that price is going to get slammed right back down, but we just don't have the confirmation yet. So right there, the candle didn't close. That's kind of stuff that I'd be looking for. I just don't see any other confirmation over here of a rejection on any other time frame. So I can't really confirm it, but you could be perfectly right. But you can see over here on the 1 hour, price is attempting to shift down. 30 minutes attempting to shift down as well. Same with the 4 hour. You can see the rejections happening here as well. But this candle has about 3 hours left on it. So it's got some time there. So no entries for us though, guys. So just keep that in mind. There's no entries for us specifically. Kevin's currently in a sell right now. Hopefully it comes back down for him, but I'm not in anything. So I don't have a stake in any direction here. Price can really go either direction. I'm just kind of waiting for my opportunity to hop into this move. Let me market news price right here. Yeah, Satyam said, I just don't want to slam my account down. Kevin, you have way more experience than I am, baby trader. Kevin, he's usually on point with his analysis, so I wouldn't be surprised if it comes right back down. The only problem here is, like, what Satyam said, it's just a lot of risk involved. Kevin does take high risk trades, but he has high payouts as well. High reward, high risk. I personally don't like trading that way, so I'm usually on the conservative side. I just like being stable. I like being stable with my trades. I don't like necessarily having too many highs, too many lows with my trading and my profitability. I just like having consistent profits. So for me, you won't see me have like crazy profits, like have 100K day like Kevin here. I'll probably have like a quarter of that or even a small percentage of that, but I trade stress-free. You guys see how I trade every day. I don't really have any stress. I kind of just trade with you guys, hang out. It's more of like a chill session for us. But I still, my profits still add up across all my accounts. So I realistically just need one trade. If I can have 1 or 2 trades a day, which I typically do, it adds up to quite a decent amount across 5 accounts. Let's see, Kevin said he already closed in profit. Probably a smart decision, Kevin, because the way that the market's moving here, there's no direction. Kevin here is banking on price to come down. Price doesn't really do anything. So it's kind of just waiting now. See, Kevin said his analysis for it to come back down, but he's waiting for it to break this area first. Yeah, that's probably a smart decision, Kevin. You're probably just waiting for it to break and close below this area right here, which is what I would be doing as well if I was looking for a sell. I mean, there's just a lot of struggle. Like there's no direction here. As you guys can see, there's nothing going on. Price is just going sideways. There's no entries for us. The main thing that we're looking for here first, guys, is a higher high or lower low. So right here, we have a higher high, and then right here, we have high lows in between. So we need another higher high or lower low. Once we get that, we can look for possible entry. But at the moment, we just do not have anything for us to take right now. It looks like you got out at a good time, Kevin, because price is like, it's literally doing nothing right now. It's too choppy. Yeah, like you mentioned. Yeah, I'd hate to be in a position right now because I'd be super stressed out if price is doing this. For me personally, I'd be stressed out because I take bigger lot sizes. So I'm looking for these small moves in the market. So like, for example, if price is kind of bouncing around, let me just show you real quick. So price is pretty much ranging right now about like 300 pips. If I was in a position here, this would fluctuate like about 1,000 to 3,000 in profit or drawdown. So I take 100 lot on FTMO. That's equivalent to a standard lot for a standard broker. And each pip is worth, or each point is worth 10 bucks. So obviously 10 times 30, or it's worth $100 actually. So it's a pretty big risk if taking it with a large lot size. And this market is pretty choppy for today. I mean, it's pretty much like how it was yesterday. If you guys were trading with us live yesterday, this is kind of how the market was moving. There wasn't really too much movement happening, a lot of back and forth. One good thing that we see right here is that there is a higher high getting established. So we have a higher high right here. If price ends up coming back down and providing a sell signal, breaking, closing past the pivots, we could have a possible entry right here. So I'm looking for a possible sell here, guys. We have the higher high. We're looking for price to break and close below the pivots. We're also looking for a sell signal. We need the sell signal to actually close though. So if we don't have a sell signal here, no entry. I'm looking for that sell signal here to close. We don't have it yet. Does not look like it's going to come up. Let's see, we have 3 seconds left on this candle. All right, we have a pending sell signal right here. Another opportunity for entry. Higher high, looking for that sell signal to break and close below it. If we get that, great. If not, then just got to keep on waiting. All right, 30 seconds left on this candle here. Yeah, Kevin said it could go either way. It's rejecting off the top and bottom of this range. No way I'm getting caught in this mess. Yeah, so we have a possible sell entry here, guys, if this ends up closing. We got 20 seconds left on it. Again, guys, if you guys are looking to take this entry, make sure that you wait for the candle to close, because this candle can just disappear, or the signal can disappear at the very last second. Like right there, it's not open again, right? So you got to wait for the candle to actually close. If it doesn't close, there's no entry. 5 seconds left. All right, unfortunately, there was no entry, guys. Again, as you guys can see right here, the candle did not close with the sell signal. So with no sell signal there, there's no opportunity for entry. So again, and look at what happened there. It would have blasted right through CP. Yeah, this market, it's pretty whack. So again, looking at the criteria, guys, identify higher high, it was right there. Identify a valid momentum signal. We had one that was pending right here, but it didn't actually close. We confirmed price broke and closed below it. So unfortunately, everything here met, but we didn't have that sell signal, so we couldn't take the trade. It's all great, guys. It is what it is. It's better to be conservative and not force a trade rather than take it. But as you guys can see, there was 2 entries that came up here. One right here that would have hit TP, and then another one right here that would have hit TP. But since we're disciplined, we're not going to force these trades. It's got to be patient. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said that's NFP for you. Yep, pretty much. So it looks like Glenn over here took it. He got lucky. He said no sell signal, but he just got lucky off that spike right there. Maria said she better leave a few bucks. See you on Monday. Definitely, Maria. We'll see you back here next week. Satyam said, of course, now Vincent's strategy worked after long torture and well out of it. Yeah. So what Satyam here is referring to is Vincent's entry that came up here. That was way too long of a hold, Satyam. So I personally would have pulled out too, like you did. But yes, it did play out right there eventually. That's a really long hold, Sayam. If you would have held on to this position, you'd be in this position for like 15 minutes. Way too long for a scalp. Scalps are supposed to hit within a few seconds, a few minutes. Unfortunately, the criteria here is just, it's missing just one requirement. For this one over here, it was missing the break and close. For this one right here, it was missing the sell signal. All right, so now we are back to the waiting game. So we need to get a sell signal here in order for us to have some sort of entry. We currently have a lower low right here, but we can't look for any buys yet until we have a sell signal. So we need a sell signal to close, and then, I mean, basically invalidate the lower low, or not invalidate it, but push it down lower, and then we can look for possible entry. But right now, there's just none of that available. So we really just need a sell signal here to push through. Zach said he had a loss today, but he made it back. He's been losing a lot more lately. So maybe be a little more patient with your entries, Zach, because, you know, for me personally, I haven't seen any entries a lot this week, aside from like Monday and Tuesday. But Zach over here, you can see a huge difference in his profits. He didn't trade yesterday. He made decent profit on Tuesday, big profit on Monday, but today he's only up 219. So at least you made profit, Zach. I think that's the main key now, that you're staying consistent, right? I think that the main key here is to have profitability every day. So you can see Zach's trades pretty much every day. He's had a green day for every day for the past, I don't know, about a month now. Pretty much every day he's had green days. So your consistency is good, Zach. But if you're starting to see yourself fall off a little bit, it might be time to step away, at least for today. You can see Zach, you can see like literally all of Zach's profits. He sends me his profits every day, and you can see his consistency. So you know, just keep in mind, Zach, that if you feel your trade psychology is starting to screw around with you, it's probably time to step away for a little bit. Maybe just call it a week and then come back on Monday fresh. Let's see. Yeah, so Satyam said, thank you, Sean. True, no break and close. So yeah, it's got to be careful in the next opportunity. Kevin said he thinks he's going to retest the low and possibly continue down lower. Yeah, I could see that happening too, Kevin. So the price is currently at the low right here. It's testing it, like Kevin mentioned. We'll see if this ends up bouncing or if it ends up breaking below and continue dropping from this point. And then possibly test, you know, the next low down here. Solid. Yeah, Kevin said he's deep in profit right now. Yeah, there was I mean, if you identify this as liquidity, the thing I was just discussing earlier, guys, there's a liquidity push right there. Nice push to the downside. Yeah, there goes. Price pushes down a little lower. Yeah, I mean, price could probably push down a little bit more right here and test the low, like Kevin mentioned. And the only risky part here is this big, huge wick on this candle. Yeah, I could probably see it come down a little more from where it's currently at. Let's see where is it at? Yeah, price can probably come down lower. We test the low at that point. Yep, and it did. So I actually took that trade right there, guys. It's a speculative move. Thanks, Kevin, for the. Damn it, I should have held on to it. I didn't get the green strip though. It gave me 950 off the trade there. So I kind of like identified what Kevin was looking at because I saw liquidity down here. I had my TP set, so it just pulled me out. But I saw the liquidity here, so I was basically holding it. So when price came down right here with the sell signal, I took it for a quick sell. Because I knew liquidity here was going to get hit, and it blasted right through it. So thanks, Kevin, for the little heads up there that you were looking for. I caught it there for decent push. Of course, my MFF gave me partial profit, but whatever. Kind of annoying, but it's got to deal with it. So yeah, this trade's not going to count, guys. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. I just want to show you guys what I took, but this trade is not going to count towards anything because there was no official entry there. I was just showing you the liquidity push. And I don't know what's up with my MFF. My MFF has been giving me half profit pretty much all week or for the past couple of weeks. So nice liquidity push right there. You guys can see the lower lows here. Price blasted right through it. Pretty much just went with the analysis. I didn't get a green strip though, unfortunately. I was hoping for that green strip. Yes, and then D was asking if it was a pivot scalp. It was also a pivot scalp. So that's another reason why I took the trade. So there was a couple of different criteria here, guys. It's not one of this, it's not this strategy specifically, but there was a pivot scalp that came up right here. I think it was an intraday scalp as well. Trend meter was red. I pretty much assumed it was red. Overall bias here was for a sell. So I already had, an idea price was going to push down lower. And then on top of that, we had liquidity sitting right here. So there's just a lot of things here confirming this, push to the downside. We had a pivot scalp, intraday scalp. I saw the V1 variation up here, reversal pattern. I saw the liquidity. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of confluences here. There's one confluence for a V1 variation, one confluence or two confluences for a pivot scalp, three confluences for an intraday scalp. Trend meter was red. Also liquidity right here. It's basically four confirmations I looked at right here. I took it for a speculative sell because I knew price was going to break through here. And then I took it for a full TP. So it gave a lot of confirmations there. So this is why it's important that you guys understand my strategy and what I look at, because there was a multiple strategies here that lined up. There was a V1 variation, liquidity push, momentum scalp, pivot scalp, trend meter was red, everything here was bearish, a lot of confirmation. So if you have a lot of confirmations like that, you can take the trade with conviction and you can pretty much trust that it's going to play out. So that's why I took the trade there. I just want to give you guys a heads up. There's a possible entry here for a buy. There's a lower low right there. Price is pushing up above here. If we get that buy signal to break and close above the, above the pivot right here, possible entry for a buy. But again, you guys want to wait for the candle to actually close. The candle has about 30 seconds left on it, so it still has some time. I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of my account real quick while we have some time here. So you got to wait for that candle to actually close, guys. Doesn't close, no entry. It's got to close above the pivot there. It's got 10 seconds left. Does not look like it's closing. All right, so it didn't close on that specific candle, but there's another opportunity right here if this ends up closing. Still got a minute, so we got some time. All right, let's see if this here closes. We got 30 seconds left on this candle here. We got 10 seconds left. Yeah, wait for it to actually close though, guys. So just make sure you're actually waiting for it to close. See if I can get in. I get into it. It's not filling my order. All right, I got into it. So I'm in this position right here, guys. Just waiting for it to push up. I'm just watching it on my end. Set an alert there. Just to let me know. All right, let's see how this pushes through. Time is right now 7:48. So I mean criteria lower low, buy signal, breaking close above it. Yeah, everything lines up. Just gotta pay attention to the movement here. Nice work. So Kenny just posted his profits. I'll take a look at that soon. So I'll let this play out. I'm gonna go ahead and post this up right now. Full TP, guys. So easy as that. So if you guys are patient, wait for that entry, full TP. Hopefully I got my green strip on that, and I did, but I still got 900. I don't know what's up with the, I don't know. It's like, I'll show you guys my profits. I was waiting for that green strip, but it still gave me partial profit, but whatever, it fit criteria here. So all the requirements were met here, guys. You guys should be out of the position, pulled out of mine right here as well. So again, I'll go over the criteria. We identified the lower low. We identified a bullish momentum signal right here. It was valid, green candle within a buy signal. And then this candle also broke and closed past the pivots 1 and 2. So with that said, we have an official entry here. It went straight to TP. And that's pretty much unfortunately, the only official entry that we had today so far. We'll see if we can find another one, but for the most part, there goes the full TP right there, guys. All right, D, we'll see you back here on Monday. So D's gone for the day so far. It looks like a lot of you guys are wrapping it up, which is completely fine. If you guys are good with your profits for the week so far, just call it a week. You don't have to force anything here, guys. We had pretty much straight wins all week so far. And it's getting really, really close to 8 o'clock. So I'm not looking for any more entries here unless I find something within the next 2 minutes, which I highly doubt will be the case. I'm just happy I made it past my threshold. So my threshold was 1,000. Even though I took 2 trades, it only gave me what I should have had equivalent to 1 trade, but it's all good. It happens. So here are my accounts so far. Oh, wait, that's not the right one. Sorry. Delete that. All right, so there's a trade I took right there. Total profit on my side is 1,850 off my main account. I'll just take individual profit screenshots, but those are my profits across all my accounts. Made it above 1,000 for the day, which is solid. That's what I was looking for. I don't know, whenever I don't make it past 1,000, it kind of just like makes me want to keep going, but I made it past 1,000, so I'm good for the day. My MFFs, of course, should give me less, but I've just accepted that their execution times are not on point right now, or not even execution. It might be their spread. But I'm also happy that I got the green strip that I've been waiting for. All right, so yeah, you guys will see the profit differential between my MFF and FTMO right now. I'm hoping it gets better, but can't really bank on that. These funny companies are always changing their settings. FTMO is the only one that's really been consistent. And again, that's why I only recommend FTMO, at least until you guys get maxed out on your allocation. All right, so here are my profits across the board. I'll just show you guys my profits real quick. So here's my main account locked in 1,850. You can see the green strip right here on that last buy trade that we just took, full TP on that one. Here's my FTMO number 2, total profit of 1,710. Same profit on this as well. A little bit less. You guys can see my main account here has a bit more. So I locked in pretty good profit on that one. And then this one over here as well, a little less. Here's my MFFs. I locked in a lot less profit, 1,200 here, only 550 on that last trade. I locked in 900 on my main account. It was supposed to be 1,000 though across all my accounts. And then here's my MFF number 2, 1,200, and my MFF number 3, 1,200 as well. So you guys can see the actual accounts right here. FTMO number 1, FTMO number 2, MFF 1, 2, and 3. Just to show you guys that, they're all separate accounts. It's not just like one. I have my copier set, so it just pretty much copies my main FTMO across my FTMO number 2 and 3 MFFs. So, pretty solid profit there. Nothing too crazy, but gets the job done. If you look for these official trades, guys, you guys should have no problem being, profitable, because, we're only looking for these quality trades. So let me see. Kenny over here posted his profits. Total profit on Kenny's side. Nice work, Kenny. He took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 trades, all wins. Total profit of 1,410 for the day. So nice work right there, Kenny. I'm going to go and copy over my profits real quick as well. Let's see. We have Christian over here took the trade as well. Total profit of 560 off that last trade. Nice work, Christian. You actually got your full TP on that. I see the green strip. So nice work right there, Christian. Suggested lot size for 100K. Yeah, 50 on FTMO, Chuck. Kenny again over here, 1,150. Nice work, Kenny. Vincent over here took those trades with us. So Vincent actually took his trade earlier, Satya, on the one that she took. It looks like he took the sell, locked in a total profit of 2,060 for the day. Nice work, Vincent. So he took that sell that you took earlier, Satya, but he actually held on to it. Total profit right here of 2,060. Nice work, Vincent. So he took his own entries and he took my entries as well. Full TPs across the board. Nice work, Vincent. Kenny over here, 1,410. Nice work, Kenny. Here's Kevin. Kevin's total profit, 17,641 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Kevin. We got Chow over here, took 2 trades, total profit of 1,620. Nice work, Chow. Looks like he might have double clicked on that one. Looking at his entry times, took one at like 17:48 and then one at 17:48, 29 seconds after. It's all good. It played out. So great work right there, Chow. All right. So I think that's it for right there. And here's Lucas. Nice work, Lucas. Lucas, 2 full TPs, total profit of 1,784 for the day. Nice work, Lucas. All right. Solid. Yeah, CJ said money bag Vince. Christian said, let me just scroll up real quick. So it looks like, let's see, Martha said hers did not hit TP, and when she went to pull out, it spiked in the opposite direction real quick. Oh man. So yeah, it looks like she got out a little late. Let's see your entry price. Entry price over here was, let me see, my entry price was 33,367. Yeah, so it looks like you were just slightly off by like, wait, 3367. Yeah, you were looks like your entry was slightly off by like 4 or 5, about 40 or 50 pips right here, unfortunately, Martha. I'm just looking at your entry point. I don't know if you entered a little later, or if like it was slippage or the spread, or there's a lot of factors that could have came into it, because this move was pretty quick. So it looks like your entry might have happened like a little farther above like this, like literally on the dot. And it looks like you kind of missed it, unfortunately. It happens sometimes, but it's the good thing here, Martha, is that you didn't necessarily take a big loss. Like, you took a loss, but you didn't take, a $3,000 loss. So you kind of cut yourself off at 2, which was a smart move. Because if you held on to it longer right here, you would have taken the full loss. So unfortunately, it happens sometimes, Martha. The market was moving very quickly. So if you clicked buy at like a split second later, that could have easily happened because the market was kind of choppy for a bit. So, I mean, it happens, but it's okay. Just bounce with it and, or just, roll with it and then bounce back on the next trade, which we're probably not going to have today. So what I'd recommend is, just clear your mind and come back next week fresh and then just bounce back on that next week. You just need a trade or two and you'll be back in profit, or you'll recoup those losses. So not a big deal, but I know it is frustrating. It would have annoyed me too if that happened to me. But yeah, the market has been super volatile at random times for these past 2 days. So let me see over here real quick. Yeah, Glenn said these spikes though. The spikes are crazy. You guys can see the wicks over here. They're like all over the place. Even this one right here, huge wick right here, big spike, possibly a price pushes above again right here for another possible entry, but it is 8 o'clock. So I'm not looking for any more trades at this moment. Yeah, all right. All right, Ben Harwig, we'll see you back here on Monday. Happy Easter to you as well. Let me scroll down real quick and see what else we got here. And I think that's about it. Let me check over here real quick. All right, Pablo, we'll see you guys back here on Monday. Satyam took it, caught a nice 70 pips. Awesome. Yeah, Satyam said thanks, Kevin and Sean. Yeah, no problem, Satyam. Solid profit on there. And I think that's it. If you guys have any more profits, feel free to post them up. And then we'll just wrap this up for the week. Just a reminder, guys, tomorrow is Good Friday. This is Easter week. It's also NFP, so I'm not going to be trading tomorrow. Market's technically closed all around the world tomorrow, so it's not necessarily a good time to trade because you can probably not necessarily blow your account, but you can violate your FTMO if you trade when the market is closed. So I wouldn't recommend trading tomorrow. I've lost 2 accounts before in the past trading during a holiday week, so I'm not going to risk it this week. I've already gone through that. It's not worth the risk to just trade for, one more day. Let me see what else we have over here. We have Jacob. Jacob said literally went and risked profits. Yeah, so unfortunately, Jacob over here kind of like got caught in these, but he bounced right back on these next trades. So it looks like he got spiked out a little too early on these, but he continued to lock in more on these next trades. Total profit of 19,542 for the day. So it's all good. He had a couple losses, but he bounced right back on those next wins following. Yeah, sometimes you got to pay to play, right, Jacob? Yeah, because these trades, looks like he took them like a few minutes before they got stopped out, hopped right back in a few minutes later, and then it dropped and you caught that big push to the downside. Basically the liquidity push right here. So nice work right there, Jacob. Cern over here as well. So Cern's currently up 385 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Cern. Yeah, Cern said finally had 1 day to trade. Now get no trading for the next 4 days. Yeah, definitely. Happy Easter, Cern. I'll see you back here on Monday, hopefully. Or yeah, next 4 days. So I probably see you on Monday or Tuesday. Here's a Nelly total profit of 9,617 for the day, all wins. Nice practice right there, Nelly. But yeah. So Anelli here, he's gotten his payouts and then now he's kind of just practicing for the week because the week's been a little crazy. So in this instance, there was an entry right here that just came up, guys, but actually, no, sorry. There was no entry because this candle broke and closed above it. I thought there was an entry there, but there wasn't. Yeah, because the candle here broke and closed above it right here already. So this wouldn't have been an entry. This would be an entry for Vincent's strategy though. So if you guys are applying Vincent's strategy, there's a lower low, price broke and closed above the third pivot right here. And there'd be a possible entry right there that would have already hit TP. But not an entry for my specific strategy. Nick, did you just come back? Okay, yeah. So Nick said no trade today. No, there was a trade. If you miss anything, Nick, just pull up the Telegram because the trade was posted right here. Yeah, you just missed this trade, unfortunately. That's pretty much where everyone locked them in profits just now. So you stepped away for a little bit and you like literally missed the only trade for the day. Just one trade for the day. And then I took one sell earlier as well. So I have 2 trades for myself, but only one official trade for the official strategy here. All right, let me see if I'm missing anything else. And then, gotcha, yeah. So Nick just stepped out for a bit. Yeah, it was just one trade, Nick, but it was a it was a choppy trade. It took a couple minutes to hit, but eventually did hit, and then it ended up reversing super hard. Yeah, Chow said he didn't mean to double click. Yeah, but I see it a lot. All right, guys. So I think that's it for today. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can message me on Telegram at Kodi Kai Trades, or you guys can email me, Sean at kodikaitrades.com. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here on Monday for the next live session. If you guys want to rewatch this session, pull up our YouTube channel. Also, if you guys are new here and you guys want access to the strategy videos, I didn't upload, but I linked the strategy video for this specific strategy onto the course. So there's a new module on the course. Just go on the website, click on unlock your free access. You'll have access to all the videos. This is the free video course right here. You'll pretty much have access to every strategy I've taught in the past 7 years now. I've been training with you guys live here for 5 to 7 years. If you guys want to learn that specific strategy that we just applied, you can scroll down over here to module 4.0. It's the high level momentum scalp, and you guys can watch the video there. All the videos here are completely free, guys. So if you guys want to rewatch this, feel free. And if you guys want to rewatch any of the live sessions, you just pull up our YouTube channel. Again, it's youtube.com/Kodi Kai Trades. You guys can click on subscribe and turn on notifications right here, and you guys will be emailed whenever I go live. I go live Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. and Monday at 2 p.m. for mentoring sessions. So, all right, guys, other than that, I'm going to wrap this up. Have a great weekend, guys. Happy Easter to everyone who's celebrating. And I'll see you guys back here on Monday. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you guys